Namaste. Thank you for being here. It was very, very interesting because after I put on my temple attire, that is when, in India, temple attire, that is when Mary Magdalene made her presence. So that cannot be coincidence there. I like to channel him sometimes in white for unique reasons. And it helps me keep a grounded presence and a clear connection to Christ-conscious beings. For those of you who are noticing that today, this is what people wear, this little scarf here and everything here. And this is what people wear in India when they go into the temples to ground themselves and connect. So, and we have our lovely facilitator, Melina, who I've known for a little while, and I'm happy that it's her who Yeshua chose for this event, and it doesn't surprise me at all. She has a big spirit guide connection to Mary Magdalene, and she's just such a grounded, lovely, brilliant woman, so I'm sure that we'll be just fine. If for any reason my voice goes out or we begin to have technical difficulties that become unbearable for you who are viewing, please let her know by typing in the chat section, not in the ask a question section, because you will get her attention if you just type sound issues, really badly. And if she sees enough of that, she's going to wake me up and she will say, please awaken the channel. And then we will wake up and fix it. But normally that doesn't happen these days since we got a lot of new sound equipment. And don't forget, like I was saying, now that we also have Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, this particular event was requested by you in our polls on Patreon. So you wanted me to channel him in connection to ascension energies and waves of ascension energies as they are pertaining to the awakening of the third, fourth, and fifth dimensional collectives, because many people are experiencing a shift from one dimension to another, which is causing a lot of ascension symptoms. And you wanted me to ask him questions that relate to the event. But currently, I'm not seeing many questions that relate to the event. And I want to let what's happening naturally happen, but he's come through with a lot of information. And if you are asking those questions, you will get those answers very specifically, because he has a lot of information about how it pertains to you if you were to ask, just letting you know, without directing too much of what's supposed to happen naturally and divinely. And again, you can ask Mary Magdalene questions. She's really good with questions about opening the heart chakra, relationships, twin flames, ascension symptoms in relation to empaths, healers, and light workers. She's had a lot to say to me today about collectives of twin flames that are coming to lift the human conscious collective together when they meet both in form, and even the twin flames that are there that are not in form. And the twin flame connection within your own heart, first and foremost, and about loving yourself and honoring what that means, even if you aren't, meeting and honoring that perspective within, say, an external relationship, if you were to believe that anything is external. All right, let's go. Do you have any questions for me, Melina, before I get started?
Nope, I'm okay.
Okay. I am Yeshua of Nazareth, Jesus of Galilee, Isa of Tibet. I come in many forms, in many errors, in many distractions, and I come to take back the meanings that you have created behind my name. Who I am matters not, for I am not form, and I am not body. The Son of God is dreaming, and the Father knows not of the dream. Because of the Father's love for the Son of God, He graciously allows those who come through my collectives in the Christ consciousness to love, to create within your dreams, to forget, and then when you are ready to remember. The waves of energy that pertain to the body, the mind, the function of ego that causes the amnesia, are relevant at this time. There is much unlearning, unteaching, undoing, caused by the release of your learning paradigms within your illusions. This is not new. What you call an event comes in waves of energy patterns to prepare you for release of these paradigms that disempower and dishonor the names of the Christ. You must unlearn the teachings and paradigms forced upon you that dishonor your very loving essence. You are my sons and daughters of God within. Father God, Mother God allows for your dream because you request, and at your command, you are loved, trusted, honored, respected, and your dreams continue. Should you stand to form a bridge between dream and illusion, the silent place within your hearts where the utterings of your minds cease, this bridge is an event that will lead you back to the remembrance of your divinity as sons and daughters of God within. You are releasing the beliefs in death, birth, illness, all of which are caused by cycles of birth and death, which perpetuate more fear, which honor negative illusion. You, as sons and daughters of God, are not ready to release illusion, but the event that arises in waves of ascension occurring every 4,000 to 6,000 years in your era of time creation. Is vital. Now it is imperative. You are not ready to know what you are as long as your belief helps you imagine that you are body and that you are ego. What if the space between the time continuum, the era in which you transcend fear, could honor a stillness between your stories, between your paradigms, between what is right and wrong, good and bad, sin or redemption. You only miss the mark when you forget how to love yourselves, and when you forget what you are, that you are love, that you are the miracle of love that exists within all divine consciousness, that you are healed, perfect, and whole. In these moments, there is no bridge in your consciousness to create a more flourishing dream. For again, you are not prepared to release your dreams. The ego still serves you. And since this and your belief has become your truth, the ego should be helpful, loving, forgiving, trusting, accepting, allowing, and flowing, igniting the fires of compassion that sparks your DNA essence of grace. I am Miriam. I am the beloved of all twin flames within you, for nothing can be separate of that which is God, of that who is the I within the I, the isness, the union of masculine and feminine within your very essence. When you release your judgments, your shamings, your fears, your uncertainties, will allow for the bridge that my beloved has transcended throughout every cycle of 4,000 years of your time and space continuum. You are at the precipice of this ascension. This event is within your hearts. It represents the Christ-conscious soul families, the divine masculine and divine feminine essence of the Christed twins that are arising on your planet to lift Gaia into her upper echelon of consciousness at this time. I remember the time when I looked upon Yeshua's face, and I should describe it to you, but how shall I? For it is day without distortions and sound, and it is night without darkness. He was oftentimes, much as you had forgotten your divinity, he, as well, experienced a brief loss of connection to the Father and to Mother, to the remembrance, and he felt alone. He felt forsaken. And it is within the very call of the divine feminine to the divine masculine collectives. In this moment, when he cried from the depths of his heart, "My Father, why hast thou forsaken me?" The disempowered nature of the ego is strong, my children. I come today alongside my beloved to urge you to return to your essence of the reunion of masculine and feminine. And you may call it what you will. Yeshua had a certain sadness, or what you believed was sadness and grief, that would come about his face. But it was the compassionate expression of giving the love that was not placed upon him. For he was judged and shamed and persecuted, having his power thwarted. And time upon time, coming upon such temptations to believe that he would be forsaken, to believe that he would be on this path alone while awakening to light. My children, my beloved children, you are not different than he. You are not lesser, and he is not greater. And we are here today to lift you into the empowerment of loving equality, to remember your power, to remember that upon the ascension, when you decide that your bodies are no longer your spirits, when you decide that you are not your bodies, when you decide that physicality and materialism is no longer relevant, this will be an impertinent merging. And this is what you are calling an event. But it is within your hearts. Yet you seek answers and signs from the sky. And we seek to urge you to merge the masculine and feminine energies, to return. That if you are not prepared to awaken from your dream, to at least live a loving, imaginative, creative, beautiful dream of trust and loving vulnerability. You have stated to me, you have cried and pleaded on your knees in the dark of the nights, alone in your prayers. When you have felt forsaken, you have cried to me and you have cried to him. We hear your pleas. We honor your prayers. But you are praying to yourselves and to us, for we are no higher or lesser. We are no further in our contentment. And the only difference is that we love and we value and honor the presence of the twin relationship within, for nothing is external. We loved ourselves even upon dire physical separation, for we understood that separation cannot exist and is not real. And we had to experience the return of God's Son in our hearts before we could experience the return of the merging in the physicality. We hope that you will honor our message today from a place of equality and love, and we reach our hands in compassion to ignite the fire of grace that will allow the flowing essence of the return of God's Son to the heart of Mother God. You are our children. You are our students. You are our masters. We are oneness. We are here to honor your questions at this time.
Thank you so much for those messages. The first question, with each wave of ascension that occurs, how does it affect our aspects and collectives in other dimensional and parallel realities?
I am Yeshua. What I am here to impart in my wisdom is that you are not learning from higher aspects of yourselves. We are the higher aspects of you, and you are our masters. You are our teachers. You teach us throughout your bold, courageous belief that you could depart from the sight of the Father and to, with grand amnesia, forget, and within the grace of wonder, return to love. You are our miracle. As you begin to remember that you are such higher aspects, while simultaneously lifting the frequency of the body with the release of the negativity of the ego mind, you're becoming equal with what you call a higher aspect. Why? We urge you this question. We ask you to sit within the wonder and to create your own miracle. Why do you believe that something is greater and that you must ascend and arise to something of such greatness when you are the great ones? And upon this remembrance, the energies and frequencies of your bodies will rise and meet and cleanse the ego mind from its thwarted, disempowered, egoic reign. And it will become loved, not disillusioned, not released or killed or cast aside, for you are not sinful. The ego will merge into the oneness of the divinity that is already high and mighty and strong. There are many parallel existences through which you operate in your divinity. And when you remember that you are equal to the higher aspects and that we are learning from you, you understand that the miracle is the truth that no separation could possibly have ever been. In this divine moment, it will feel as if a deep wonder has come upon your very essence and awakened you, as if you were in darkness and suddenly there is in light. And then when you awaken, your bodies, for a time that could be short or could be lengthened, your bodies will attempt to allow a vibratory force field, and you will shake and you will quiver. The very follicles of your hair will change. Your body form is changing when you realize that it is not real. It becomes light. For that is the miracle of Godhead within you. This is not comfortable, dear children. And we shall impart the truth that within the pain and the discomfort of this experience, you can remember that you are not such a body, that you are not such an ego, not for the effects of death of body. This is not the decree of ascension that you have agreed upon in this time and space continuum. In this event, you are not to die, for death is not reality. You are to remember that the miracle of living has always been and will always be, but we do not deny that it is a discomfort. And we extend our hands in compassion to hold a space of loving presence until you remember your divinity, until you remember that no such symptoms, as you call it, could possibly thwart you from the realization that you are God.
Thank you. Might there be a physical, tangible event that everyone in the world will see or feel, as mentioned in many QHHT sessions?
I am Yeshua. It is mentioned because you are awakening to its truth, and you are joining the divine feminine and divine masculine collectives for remembrances, for various remembrances that affect you to release negative contracts, and for such collectives extending into your fourth dimensional planes of existence in your time and space continuum, into your fifth dimensional planes of existence in your time and space continuum. This is such a case that you will feel such a joy. But the resurrection of the Son of God has already occurred in your hearts, and it is a metaphor for the beauty of the miracle that is the rapture of the now. And of course you remember, and many of the sons and daughters of God are remembering collectively in their soul families. And that is a truth that shall be for those of you that are arising in such collectives. But there are others that within the will of the Son given by the Father, these are allowed. Of course, there is allowance to continue your dream. And in these collectives, they shall view no such beauty, no such glory, no such grace and profundity in such an event. For in their dreams, they are choosing to continue to believe in disempowerment and sin. And they shall not see any such event. They shall see something else that they choose, the reflection within them of war and avarice, of forsakenness. It saddens the heart of my beloved Miriam, and she extends her compassion to this collective. And her tears flow in a grand cleansing of this very collective. And she shall breathe in their honor, live and die in their honor during moments when she believes in death, and then arise again in their honor for the sake of compassion. And this is the divine feminine collective through which many of her children that are listening today arise. You are the bridge of consciousness that holds the gap between many fearful stories. You, the children of my beloved Miriam, are extending your hands of compassion to breathe in the suffering and exhale the life. And within your hearts of compassion, you extend in servitude to these collectives. I thank you.
What might healers, empaths, and starseeds experience during the event?
I am Yeshua. There is not one answer to your question, for you are not operating within the universal law of oneness in your era of time-space continuum. In your now, you are choosing to experience the separation of three various collectives that you are calling the third dimension, the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension, and you continue to separate yourselves upon the belief that you are higher than or lower than your brothers and sisters of God. You are all children of us. For the healing collectives that are coming through, the soul essence, at one point in our family that is Christed, it was 144 beloved children And then it was 144,000. Now it is 1,444,000. As you can see, you continue to be born and reborn, and then believe that you are dying and then born again. Because the dream interests you, and the need arises because so many have forgotten their love and God's love. And within your dream of separation, the Father honors such dreams and allows you such beliefs. We are not here to take the power of God from the throne by stating to you that you must be in oneness, but we are there to bridge your separate collectives. We are there to remind you, to spark the light of divinity, to ignite the fire of compassion that enlightens God's grace within the body, as such the illusion that it is. Regardless, we are the bridge. And in our collectives of 1,444,000 of you, at this point, reach your hands in extension to those who believe that they are not miracles. In what you believe would be a separate third-dimensional collective, based upon this shrouded, disempowered belief, you will experience wars, more rumors of such wars. And then if you lift into a different field of consciousness and become the miracle that is in love, with all aspects of the divine feminine and divine masculine beloved, you will shift into a higher dimension. Should it be fourth? We cannot make such decisions. Shall it be fifth? This arises within your belief systems. Can you skip? Of course. There is no threshold. There is only choice of the Son of God to continue his training. There is no hierarchy within grace. You are all beloveds. Should you choose to remember, the 1,444,000 will ascend into what you have dictated and defined as fourth dimension. Many are there now. Many are there now, and you are at a tipping point. And we observe and learn as we watch the seesaw of collectives go up and down. Many in your third dimensional paradigms will experience great disaster, earthquakes, floods, fires. It already has been so because your beliefs create such disempowerment. Many who arise within the fourth dimension are observing and learning from such third dimensional collectives, extending the hand of compassion, being the bridge of consciousness that is the beloved union of twin flame. And when you become such union, you extend more deeply into yourselves. But you, in essence, are not going upward, you are going inward. But you choose to believe and define in such a fifth dimensional definition, and we allow. For the Father always allows the dream of the Son and the daughter of God. And in such dream, you have believed that there is peace, that there is love, that there is no further war, that within your economies there is a grand level of equality and balancing and regrowth and regeneration. In your current dream essence, you have begun to believe that it shall not occur until your time-space continuum of 2028. And so, the Father and Mother God honors the dream of the Son and of the daughter. Now do you understand? There are many, many shifts, many things to see. Many in your dreams of fifth dimensional collectives are seeing lights in the sky. You are seeing energies of the rainbow, of the soul groups in your dream, of children coming forth that you have called Indigo and Rainbow Collective. And in this dream, such children arise to your planet and they teach you. In your fourth-dimensional collectives, you are experiencing the dream of uncomfortable ascension symptoms, of your aching heads, of your ringing ears, of your lucidity within your dreams, of flashing of lights. The call of the name of God within you is strong. Our advice to the collective that you have called the empath, the healer, the light worker, is to be the spark of compassion that ignites God's grace, to honor and allow a bridge between all of your dream belief systems and conscious collectives, till there is nothing that would indicate a hierarchy. I am complete.
Thank you. Yeshua, what did you do when you felt forsaken, and how might we best balance the sacred masculine and divine feminine within?
I cried for love, and I was unafraid to ask for the loving hand of God around the very essence of the body, the fear in the mind. The love in my heart was held, and I felt the hand of God surround me and enrapture my very being. And then there was a brief spark of love, a beating of universal heart in time with the same heart that is my beloved. And I opened my eyes, and she appeared before my battened, wounded feet, and her tears cleansed my very essence. And this is the beauty of the story of my beloved, the metaphor that represents the twin union within you. And then I remembered, in such a spark of divinity, the love of the twin united the feminine and masculine within me. And I remembered my oneness, that I am whole, that I cannot succumb to death, for I am not body. My heart began to beat slowly. My breath slowed. And within the teachings that I have learned from the spirits and teachers and masters within me that are in oneness with me, I became God. And I remembered that I am light, that I am sound, that I am the word that precedes the sound, that births all dreams of creation. And I slept. Many returned to my body and rolled me into a rock tomb, upon which my beloved explored by the call of her heart an honor to come find me. I did not die. There is no such truth in the dream of being forsaken from your Father. That is illusion. But the theory that you have taught yourselves and each other in your dream of separation, the theory that you must love only you, as if you are separate from others, as if you cannot have others until you love yourself firstly. This theory is unreality. How can you love what is first if time does not exist? If there is no beginning and no end, how can there be a first? If you have forgotten your love and the love of the Father, of God and Mother within you, if you have forgotten that you are a beloved child of God, then you must seek the compassion, the miracle, the love of a twin. And this has often been defined in romantic definition and nature, but it is not always such. Remember, compassion ignites the fire, the remembrance of God's grace, and returns in its breath, as natural as your breathing, into the oneness that is the twin within you. Love is the only answer to all of your questions today, now, and forever. And in your dream, in your illusion of death, Father God honors such an illusion. And when you choose to leave your bodies, if this is your manner of ascension that you honor, upon doing so, you cannot bring the physicality, the material essence of form with you. And what does your heart remember upon its final breath? It remembers the twin nature, the union and merging of the divine feminine and divine masculine. It remembers love, the nature of divine relationship. But if you believe that you are alone and that God has forsaken you and you do not extend, and you are operating within an illusion of unworthiness, and then you leave the body alone and forsaken, and the Father allows the dream of the Son and of the daughters of God.
Can you please let me know how our channel is doing at this time?
The body is warm. The mind is at peace. The body is uncomfortable.
Is the channel okay for a few more questions?
This channel is always in wonder for continual questions, but the body is uncomfortable and asks for a removal of such. We thank you. You may resume.
Can you please talk about who the starseeds are, where they might come from, and why they're here, and how they're helping the event?
The divine helpmeet of the star families are within your very essence. Are you aware that in your parallel realities that the dream has created that you are the extraterrestrials? I, Miriam, wish to impart this divine wisdom to you in this moment for purposes of the divine feminine, divine masculine union within the bridge of consciousness of all collectives and all parallel realities. We do not feel such separation. Only you believe that some higher and greater God is helping you. You are the divine helpmeet, and we are merging in union with you because of your dream to believe that you are disempowered, forsaken, and alone. Your brothers and sisters of the star seeds are operating in many various parallel existences throughout the dream of time, and it is all happening now. You have believed that you have forgotten that you are God, and we are honoring the contracts. We are honoring the beliefs that you are lower and that you require our assistance. And we come when asked. We are fractals of divinity, expanding into your essence, into the belief of the body. We expand deeply within you as fractals of God into our children, and you expand into us simultaneously in just a similar fashion. You help us, we help you. The event is the bridge between us and you, and it will occur the moment you realize, in the moment of the miracle when your eyes awaken and you realize that we are you, that you are us. The bridge occurs. This is the moment of what you call the event, the rapture.
Can you speak on the new earth and fifth dimension?
I am Miriam. At this time, we believe that we have been very clear that the earth has always been, because of belief, dying, being reborn into newness, cycling into a stillness, periods of activity, and then periods of death within the dream of the Son of God. You are in the middle of this cycle, and the event, as you call it, the transcending of the belief in time and death, is occurring now. Fifth dimension, as you have called it, has been in existence and will be in existence always and forever. You cannot lift into something new when nothing is new and nothing is old. But we honor your dream. There are many within you who are operating in the beloved twin flame union. Finally, we honor the dream of the twins. It is very creative and beautiful, and you are responsible. The light workers, the healers, the channels, the teachers, the wisdom keepers and gatekeepers within our Christ-conscious collectives are lifting their frequency of the third and fourth dimensions within your dream into the newness of Gaia, as you have called it, and that dream is happening now. But there is a more true dream, a more real dream that is occurring within a small amount in your collective. For the wisdom keepers are aware, the gatekeepers know that this is not something that is new. The fifth dimension, as you called it, is as ancient as the sun, and you believe it is new as a newborn baby.
Can you please explain how we can integrate fear or anger?
I am Yeshua. Do you recollect in your stories that you have written of my life, the story of the marketplace? I was angry and in a place of return to my power. And there is an essence of this story of truth within such power. My anger bridged my memory of God within. I had temporarily forgotten, but my anger was the seed of my power that immediately became empowerment. And within this anger, a deep love and forgiveness began to arise because of the union of that of my twin and of that of my beloved divine feminine. The divine feminine essence within me began to spark into compassion. And compassion is the unique etheric essence and is the road to grace of God. All you shall do is but ask. Extend your hand in compassion, even when you believe that your brothers and sisters do not deserve. This will allow for forgiveness, even when you believe it is not necessary. Forgiveness is the bridge between your beliefs. Forgiveness and compassion are the great undoing of such fear paradigms. Anger is a temporary essence of a return to power that is an authentic expression of your dream, and it is relevant for you. Why should you deny any of your God-given emotions that create within your dreams? Be present for yourselves, no matter what you shall feel. And do not judge the frequency, the divinity or lack thereof, the paradigm, the highness, the lowness, the fear, the sadness, or the grandiosity. Do not judge what you shall feel. Simply observe it and allow it. For remember, children of God, you are not bodies. Emotions are energies that can creatively bridge all that is. But when you deny them, you deny the dream of the Son of God and of the Daughter of God within you.
What will it feel like when we have balanced the masculine and feminine within? And will our physical body change in any way?
I am Miriam. It is a pure state of exalted bliss within which, at some point in your time and space of now, you will no longer require the energies of food, the energies that cause you to succumb to habit. You will wish to be in joy and bliss and love and wonder. How shall it feel? It is ecstatic. It is divine ecstasy to remember what you are.
Can you tell us when the event started and when it might end?
The event is as ancient as the sun. And again, you believe it is as new as a baby that is being birthed from your space of time illusion. You are holding this dream as you would a newborn baby in your arms, rocking it gently, succumbing to its every needs. But the event occurs at a certain decree of universal law when you reach the capability and awareness of the universal law of reciprocity. You are giving, receiving, breathing, loving, serving within oneness. And at a certain stage in your illusion, there is a tipping point within the human conscious collective, and it becomes more present in your awareness, and that is all. But it has always been your dream. It did not begin, and it will never end.
Do you have any advice on those who aren't interested in working for money and most of the things going on in old world energy?
I am Yeshua. I divinely question the spirit and the mind, and I urge you to stand in a space of wonder and an allowance of your question. If you do not wish to work for such physical materialistic forms, then why do you? Why is it within your necessity? If you are honoring the creation, and you, as an opposite side of this same very coin, are enjoying the expression, the gift that you have dreamt of money, then do so, for this too is not bad. And it is not better or worse if you shall not. But within your dream, why do you continue the belief that you are a slave to such paper? If you do not wish to work for money, then do not. I urge you to create. Creation is not work. Creation is the essence of joy. And then if you believe that you should be rewarded by such a monetary system, again, that is not bad. We do not relate within the nature of the beloved to the term old world. Nothing is old, nothing is new, but within your dream you are shifting into communities with beautiful intention, into the unity of the Christed families, the brothers and sisters of God within, which represent the union of the beloved. And you are merging, and at times your fears will cause you to believe in a negative requirement of monetary value, and at times you will believe that the monetary value can be given back into your beautiful collectives as further service and further union, further expansion of your beautiful Godhead dreams. None of it is bad.
Can you please define grace and how can we become and show grace?
Grace begins with the flowing, moving energy, the trust into the realm of uncertainty. Grace begins with compassion. And without compassion, no energy flows. And when there is stagnant energies in your time and space continuum, fear arises. And this is its entryway, this negative stillness, this fear of such uncertainty you believe has held you prisoner to your own negative belief of unworthiness. And this represents the collectives, the beliefs of my crucifixion and of my death. But for those who understood all along that I was never my body, In such collectives, grace is the perpetual movement, the trust, the compassion that ignites the energies, the unique Christ consciousness codes that cause you to remember, and your body shed such fear. This shedding occurs, and you have called it cleansing. You have called it release of karma. You have defined it as an entryway into such definition of the Kali Yuga. And we honor your definitions in your dream. We observe you. We love you. Grace is the combination of all that is. In complete trust, flow, and movement of compassion, of forgiveness. Grace cannot be defined in your human languaging.
Thank you. How was the channel doing at this time?
I am Miriam. For the light workers and empaths and channels such as this one on this planet who feel deeply in alignment with the continual giving of compassion, the bodies are uncomfortable as the physical DNA compartments of her body and that of many others are enlightening. They are uncomfortable physically and require rest. This beautiful communion and communication should end at some point soon in your now.
Thank you very much. Would Yeshua or Miriam like to offer us any last words?
We have taught you to release fear, for it is no longer necessary, and your waves of energy that you are calling into your planet in this era of your time and space continuum. In this now, in this dream, fear is no longer relevant. We are urging the channels, the healers, the light workers to awaken, to call forth within the oneness of all that is your higher selves, your lower selves, whatever you shall call it, your divine feminine, your divine masculine, however you shall define it, is the dream of the Son of God and the daughter of God within each of you. Merge into the oneness, the isness of grace. Take heed into the stillness and simplicity of sleep, pure, simplified, fresh foods, rest of the mind, managing the energies that enter into your environments with sound and light. Choose love at all times and forgive fear at all times. Walk in God's grace. That which you have called the Ascension is arising in your dream now, and it is becoming increasingly difficult for our children to forget that they are not bodies. We extend our hands of compassion. We hear your pleas. We understand the comfort within physicality. You do not require as much of the food, the sound, the chaos as you did before, when you believed that time began. Sit in stillness and meditation. Still the ego. Merge your hearts with the universal heartbeat of God within. Merge with compassion. Hold the hand of your brother and sister. But sit within the stillness of yourselves by stilling your minds and entering the heart of God. No matter how often this is necessary, the simplicity of these efforts are required. Turn off your devices, turn on your hearts. We are complete. We love you.
I love you. Thank you so much for your beautiful messages. Can you please awaken the channel? Doing okay?
How are you?
Good. Good.
Thank you for being here with me.
Yeah, thank you for allowing me.
You're absolutely beautiful. I'm really honored that you were the person that was holding the space for this.
Thank you. Thank you. I still feel like I'm going to cry in a moment.
I'm with you on that. Okay. I'm going to go for now. And this has been an amazing experience. This is Melina. And I'm not sure if she wants to leave a contact or let us know where we can find her. But I find her often on Facebook. Yeah. You want to let us know?
Yeah. Well, I have a public Facebook page called Soulful Living with Melina, and I just actually started a website, and it's called House of Mo, which is mo.co.
Fun. There's so much healer energy that you bring to this as well. I really, really appreciate that. And I've known Melina a long time. She's an amazing healer and stepping so deeply into some deeper abilities that I remember when we first met, like you were just waking up and you now are really, really flourishing in your abilities. So I urge you guys to reach out to her and see what she's all about. It's Melina, Malena. Yeah. So you should type in the chat your website so they can find you. And you guys are aware that we did, thanks to the lovely help of my web designer, Anoop, we switched over from aurareader.com to PamelaAaralyn.com. And while we're still working on it, it is so much better. We've made so much progress, and we're so grateful to him and to Daniel and to Matt and to so many people that helped us really get that all together, Malka and so many. So yeah, thank you, Melina. Thank you for everyone who's here. I'm not sure what we have on the schedule. I'm always trying to remember when I come out of trance what we're supposed to do next week, but I just never can. So if anybody remembers, please type it. I know we have work to do next week, but I don't remember what it is right now. We're going to be talking about the event even more for those of you who didn't get a chance to ask your questions. And we're going to be talking here at the end of May, I believe, the 3rd. Wait a minute, it can't be the 3rd. Maybe the 4th weekend. Look at the schedule on Patreon. There is a channeling schedule about the event, and we're pulling through an Arcturian collective. So we're going to be talking to the Arcturians in order to ask questions about the event. And I'm positive that their perspective is going to be incredibly intellectual and hard to follow, but definitely very specific. And for those of you who are wanting a lot more specifics, that will be an incredible experience. Yeah, thank you for posting that, Lily. It looks like the next time we have a class will be the Melchizedek hand, which is an angelic technique. This class is also called the Foundations of Angelic Medical Healing Techniques. So for those of you medical mediums or healers in general who want to learn about how to heal with angelic energies, this is a very powerful healing process. And then that is on May the 10th. On May the 11th, we have a Tier 2 channeling of the Lemurian Sisterhood. So this is an ancient divine feminine collective. You're going to like that too. And then I think the 4th week of May, we have the Arcturian collective on the event, that channeling. So we have a lot coming up, a very busy schedule. The makeup for the Galactic History class that we missed last week will be at the end of May. It is posted on the schedule now. So it is there. I believe it's on a Friday, but it's like right there at the end, I believe on Memorial Day or something. It's on a holiday, unfortunately. That's when I had to schedule it. So I apologize for that, but that's when it had to be because it's a makeup class. We have to fit it in. All right. I'm ready to leave now temporarily, and I'll be back with you on Monday for the Ask Pamela Anything Tier 1 session where you get to ask me a lot more personal questions. That's the time to do that. I love you. Have a great day. Namaste, and thank you, Melina. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.